From Tally to Cali,
It's time
to wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, presented by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
One more corner pocket.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hutchavandi.
And Corey Clark.
Wake up! What is up, everybody? It is Wake Up Warchant, presented by the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, coming to you from Orlando, Florida. Coming up on today's show, talking a little bit more about Braden Fiske and just, giving you guys a show around the holiday season because Corey wants to grind. Wake Up Warchant, presented by the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, Tallahassee, Florida. It is now Wednesday, Corey, so It is the pressed ham sandwich with
there
some
you go.
Swiss,
Nice.
horsey sauce. Get your favorite side dish, straight fries, curly fries, side salad. Curly fries sounds really good right now for some reason.
And they have good ones. And they have good ones there.
Everything.
Believe that.
Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Don't forget tomorrow, Thursday. I guess maybe bingo can coincide with halftime, or will they not do bingo since there's a football game, Corey?
Definitely no. Bingo will not be taking place during the Florida State game. It's a Florida State. It's a sports bar first and foremost. So they will definitely have the Florida State game on Thursday. So yeah, if you can't be down here watching it live, watching this very likable team live, then watch it at Corner Pocket, man, on the big Vegas wall.
Speaking of likable, Jeff Cameron, Tom Lang, yourself, Ira, to a lesser extent myself, will be hanging out at Harry Buffalo, not the, but just Harry Buffalo, over on Church Street here in downtown Orlando from about 3 to 4 o'clock. But the Jeff Cameron Show will be originating live from said bar from 1 to 3 o'clock. So come on out, support the program, hang out with some dudes that you like in real life, and just see how much cooler we really are.
How much better looking we are in real life, too.
True that. And then a block party afterwards. Jake Owen's
going to be strumming an acoustic guitar, Aslan. Look, I'm not a country fan. I don't know any of his songs, but I know he's a big deal, legitimately.
Would this be a good time for maybe somebody to get on a knee, ask somebody a really important question about life plans together with Jake Owen, Florida State, block party?
Well, yeah.
I love you, girl. You're my little girl.
Oh, is that your song you wrote for the high schooler back in the day?
No. Don't be a jerk, Corey.
Oh, sorry.
Don't be a jerk. All
Well,
right.
I should let people know that you were in high school too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
Well,
I said it as if
college. We were in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you made it sound like I was.
You did it a couple years ago. Yeah. No, you were the same age.
Yeah, it was legal, everybody. It was legal. Hey, I like how you kind of hinted at coming and hang out with this likable team. You wrote a column about just how likable this team was. I got to kind of hang out with them in a roundabout way on Tuesday. They did their kind of community service day. A lot of these bowl situations, these bowl games, gives opportunity for these athletes that are, kind of idols for some kids, or at least can be really good kind of role models for a little brief, fleeting moment to, make a little bit of a difference. I think they partnered with the Boys and Girls Club over at the Fun Spot, Corey, which...
Was it fun?
They're not going to get sued for, false advertising. It's legit. It was fun. It's full-on amusement park, inside arcade. Although I was hoping maybe, Jordan and one of those guys would make their way to the arcade and do some of the throwing games, maybe some skee ball, kind of show off their arm talent, hand talent. They didn't do that. But it was just cool, again, to kind of see these guys hanging out and just see how down-to-earth and truly, just how truly they enjoy being around each other. Alex Atkins mentioned it during the press conference on Monday about how all these programs, everybody talks about family, right? Like everyone talks about family or brotherhood, but that's they do live and kind of breathe it, man. I think that probably is part of the reason why they're all playing in this game. Like they don't want to let each other down. That's something Alex Atkins mentioned. That's a thing that you really can't teach, but they really do play for one another. Kind of think that kind of bled over into your column a little bit, feels like.
Yeah, a lot. That was kind of, in this day and age, the team you're playing has 4 very important pieces that decided not to play. You have had nobody come out and say, I'm not playing, even though you have some guys that might be in the NFL next year, have decided that they're going to play one last time for this team. And that was kind of the gist of the column, is like how enjoyable this season's been. And obviously it's been enjoyable for us, but you can tell it's enjoyable for them too. And they want to finish out something. And I think it's commendable, if nothing else, right? In this day and age, and I'm a cynic as much as the next guy, but in this day and age, and I know it's very easy to be cynical about this sport right now, this is a team and a group of players that went from, legitimately the lowest of lows. You can't get lower than that second game of the season last year. and then following that up with 2 more losses. You can't get lower than that at a place like Florida State. Then to do what they've done the last 3 months, but really the last 13 months, is it's just been really cool to watch. And that's why they're so likable, is because we rode it with them. We were on the ride with them. You could have made a case that they were the worst Power 5 team in the country for the first 4 weeks of last season, and now they're one of the best. And we've gotten to see that up close and personal. You and I personally at practice, but everybody else through those videos and through watching them play on Saturday and all the interviews you guys watch on YouTube. You've gotten to hear from these guys and watch them grow, and that makes them really likable. And it culminates with, you're in the Cheez-It Bowl, you're not in the playoff, man. You're in the Cheez-It Bowl. And every single one of these guys wants to be here and try to get that 10th win. Now, Jamie Robinson said, when we finish up with our 10th win, we're about to finish up with a 10th win.
He's got the card punched.
He does, man. He says whatever. But even still, luckily there was no Oklahoma media there to report back to the Sooner Nation. But
Are
yeah.
they here yet? Have you been up to the hospitality room?
No, I haven't been up there yet. I'm waiting until we're done with this. We'll see. But apparently there's some stuff going on in this country with the air travel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to besmirch any airlines in particular, but holy moly. But seeing how they've gotten, where they've come from to where they are, I think that's what makes them likable too, right? It's not just 9 wins. That's awesome. It's the way they've gotten the 9 wins on, basically.
You thrash Miami. You have a thrilling victory against Florida, and then sandwiched in between all that was a lot of romps, a lot of thrashing.
But also coming on the heels of a 3-game losing streak, which we've seen Florida State teams in the past just spiral, but also on the heels of the previous 3 years. For them to make this season, no, we're not doing that again. We're going to be a good team. We are finally going to take that next step. And they took a couple steps, actually. That's what, to me, and they play hard. They're all going to be here. That matters, man. I just think, I don't know that we'll ever feel this way about a Florida State football team again, in the sense that, let's say next year they go 10-2. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a chance some of these guys that have come back, if they're playing in a 10-2 bowl game, might say, you know what, I'm peacing out. It's this season. It's this particular season where they're like, no, we're going to make history and we're going to get that 10th win. We want to get that 10th win. They all want to play together, man. I don't know that you can count on that lasting forever. Yeah. That's what makes this team so unique, I think.
In that vein, though, I think I wouldn't begrudge them if they did next year, because I think they realize that playing in this game, and we've talked about over the years, we haven't been a part of it, but so many times bowl games, that to me is the fake momentum, if you want to pull a Manny Diaz out the bag. Like teams that win a bowl game or the hot in vogue offseason team, right? Like, oh, they won 4 of their last 5, they had a really good bowl win, watch out for them in the following season. But I really feel like they beat Oklahoma. That gives them momentum going into next year. And if next year falls short of the really lofty goals that I think they have for themselves, I could see them being like, all right, man, we came back, we ran it back because we want to do something really special. Now, with your blessing, Florida State fans, like, we're going to maybe do a little something that's a little maybe selfish, look out for our best self-interest. I can respect that, man. And I'll be totally fine with that. Hopefully they won't be in that position. But again, I will appreciate what they're doing now, because I think what they're doing now, a lot of it is in the moment. But I think a lot of it, too, is like, man, we really think if we go out there and put together another solid game, and that'll just – it's us being around each other, giving us the opportunity to play another game. But I think they truly believe that will help them launch into the offseason, too.
And I think you can feel it. I think they feel how beloved they are by this fan base. And again, as I wrote in the column, they're not one of the best teams in program history by any stretch. They're not a top 20 team in program history. But they're one of the most enjoyable, likable teams because of the fact that they're all playing in this game. In the current, you could point back and it's like, yeah, they all played in the All-American Bowl in '86 too. Well, yeah, man, life was different in 1986. There aren't teams at the status of Florida State that have all the guys play in a bowl game that's not a championship game. So and I also write in the column that I don't judge the guys I don't judge those Oklahoma guys necessarily for not playing in this bowl game. They got a future to think about. But I do judge Jamie Robinson for playing in the bowl game. You know what I mean? Like that, it's not just bad judgment; it can be good judgment too. And I write specifically about Jamie because I got to watch him practice during this bowl prep some, not down here obviously, but back in Tallahassee. And man, the guy he competes in every drill. He is a star safety who is probably going to be drafted in a few months, and he is still competing on December 10th like he's a third-string safety trying to get the coach's attention. And there just aren't many people built like Jamie Robinson, man. They just aren't. And I'm really, really it's been a joy to watch that guy play. And I hope he gets his flowers, his just desserts, however we phrase it now, because he's meant a lot to this program, and you need dudes like that. You need guys like Jamie Robinson because they're not a dime a dozen. There's not a lot of them out there, and he is just the way he is, not necessarily his vocal leadership, just the fact that he's out there every day, every practice, even being who he is, I think speaks volumes, and is a great role model for Shaheem Brown and people like that to follow.
Yeah, we've always thought about, like a Jalen passing it to Derwin kind of torch kind of moment, because we think he's like these NFL elite guys. But, man, I think so much is being passed down now. Like, I think Jermaine Johnson gave a little bit to this locker room.
Absolutely.
So that they were able to hold on.
But Keir Thomas, too. Yeah. Keir Thomas wasn't an NFL draft pick. I think he played this year in the NFL some, but he wasn't a draft pick. But he mattered, too. Jamie Robinson matters. I don't know where Fabian Lovett's going to be drafted, when he's going to be drafted, but he matters. Like, all that stuff matters, and it gets passed down. Like I say a lot, the Tony Douglas thing. Those kids, they had 6 freshmen on that Tony Douglas team that made the tournament after a 10-year drought. All 6 of those freshmen, at least 5 of them, played the next 3 years, and they always made the tournament. They learned from Tony. Tony was the best teacher. Tony was more important for their development, that 1 year of being around Tony, probably than the assistant coaches, just in the sense that they saw what hard work was. And these guys get to see what Jamie Robinson is. And they're like, man, if I want to be the player I got to be like that dude. And it's invaluable, which means more than valuable.
Okay.
To play, it's like infamous. It's more than famous. You've got to have guys like that show the way. You can't just have Coach Woodson or Coach Fuller or Coach Norvell telling you to get out there and work hard. You got to see it for yourself, and that guy is just the proof, man. He is the proof.
Florida State will have a final practice later this morning. We'll be able to film, I think, the first 2 periods. So
there you go.
Click on that video, everybody. And then there'll be before that, though, will be the coaches' press conference. Brett Venables and Mike Norvell both together here at the lovely Rosen Center.
Rosen Plaza, maybe?
Rosen Plaza. All right. Yeah, a lot of Rosen. Never knew they were such a.
It's a Rosen-heavy area.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And apparently the Clemson band is here in the hotel tonight as we record this, along with the marching chiefs. Clemson's on the way to Miami for their game, but they stopped for the night in the hotel, and the marching chiefs are staying here too.
They bust? Clemson,
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Huh. Look at that. Hey, it's holiday season. It's bowl season, as we mentioned. Lots of bowl games going on. Clemson in a bowl game, Florida State in a bowl game.
I don't think we nailed the Memphis-Utah State game, Aslan, last time I checked in.
Yeah. Well, we'll do a final tally of everything that's going on in the bowl season with Corey and I. But you folks know better than us. Why don't you head over to mybookie.ag, make your picks, use the promo code WARCHANT on your first deposit. You could receive a deposit bonus of up to $200 cash bonus instantly. Again, we use the promo code WARCHANT. Get your bet in, win. You put your money, pull it right back out, and spend it. Lots of good deep discount holiday season stuff going on, Corey, with the holiday season here being with the bowl season. The games that we've got going on coming up today, Corey, over at MyBookie when it comes to the bowl season, we're going to go with. Let's give the ACC some love. We got UCF taking on Duke. Duke given 3.5. I'll take the 3.5 points if I'll take UCF.
Yeah, me too.
No.
Yep.
Oregon taking on North Carolina. Is Bo Nix going to stay in Eugene? He's not going to go to Tempe and hang out, or Tucson and hang out with
he said he
Kenny.
was coming back to Oregon for another year.
Incredible. Phil Knight, man. Oregon giving out 13 points.
That seems like a lot, right? Like, is Drake May not playing?
Do you want that, or do you want to do the over-under 75, big dog?
Ooh, 75? That's a huge number.
Big number.
Man, let's do the over, but only because it's more fun to root for an over.
Right, absolutely.
All right. 10 touchdowns, though.
It is. Kansas, 11. Arkansas, Texas Tech, Mississippi also going on, also known as Ole Miss. Make your picks over at mybookie.ag. Use that promo code WARCHANT. Let me pull up my my Twitter here, Corey. Every now and then there's some mentions, if you will. Our guy Noles for life, Noles for L. Hey guys, I was watching a Braden Fiske highlight, and the announcers pronounced it as Fisk, silent E. Just a heads up after listening to the Wake Up Warchant podcast this morning.
It'd be cool if it was Fiske, though, because then you could do Fiske business.
Oh,
you like that?
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of anything with Fiske.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, there's Carlton Fisk, but that doesn't really apply to him.
The game of Fisk? The game of Risk?
Oh, man.
Fiske?
Oof. No, nothing.
Cafe Fiske?
Like I said,
Florida didn't
can't really think
that.
of anything with
Thank
Fisk.
God the Gators didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
They were too busy celebrating Graham Mertz.
Yeah,
Shout
big
out to
Wisconsin quarterback. And, hey, speaking of transfers, though, because this pertains to Florida State, is Sam Hartman, he's in the portal, and apparently the word, as we record this, Notre Dame is, as you mentioned yesterday, is the heavy favorite to land Sam. I think Pete Thamel said that. I don't get to see his tweets because he blocked me 10 years ago. But
I'll reach out to Pete. I'll see what I can do.
No, please don't. I'm fine with it. But he did say that that I guess that's where everything is leading, is Hartman going to Notre Dame. That's for Florida State's purposes, man. Yeah. It's kind of a big deal, right? The guy that could be coming back. You've had two quarterbacks from good teams, two teams that beat you. Actually, all three starting quarterbacks that beat you this year have entered the portal. That's crazy. You're 9-3, and all three quarterbacks you lost to are in the portal and are going to be at other schools. DJ is at Oregon State. Yeah. Leary's at Kentucky, and apparently not Riley Skinner. Sorry.
Come on.
Sorry, Sam. Sorry, buddy. You're better than Riley Skinner. Sam Hartman is heading to South Bend.
Yeah, and next season, actually, I don't know why I don't know.
Maybe he'll play him in a bowl game.
He could. Yeah, we actually do have Wake on the slate next year too.
Yeah.
So that's good.
They're at Winston-Salem. So look, I don't expect them to be an easy out because they're still going to be well coached and they have a good offense. Yeah. But they're losing most of their offensive line and their quarterback.
Those receivers got to be probably due up to.
You would think. Maybe they're going to South Bend with them. They can do they practice 3 periods a day. Wake Forest practices selling defensive pass interference. Legitimately, Sam, throw it short like you always do. Let me reach back and act like I've been kicked in the stomach by this DB, and let's go get that free 15.
It's an art.
It is absolutely an art, and you cannot convince me they don't practice it. I know they do. It's like Duke practicing taking charges.
Corey, I'm going to read you a quote. I'm fired up to have player X join our program. He has been an extremely productive playmaker with his relentless style of play and versatility along the defensive line. Is that David Pollock's scouting report or Braden Fiske?
Yeah, it sounds like it could be. Well, it's from Mike Norvell.
Yeah.
It's not David Pollock talking about Braden Fiske, but yeah, it kind of sounds the relentless part. And that's the thing about Jermaine, because usually, look, man, I'm not trying to be racial about it, but usually they reserve that kind of characteristic for a white defense, a never-ending motor that doesn't quit.
Right.
David Pollock, that's all they said, and folks that are too young to have remembered him as a player, good grief, man, that he was Tebow before Tebow and how they praised that kid. And they just overflowed. Coach on the field, gritty, never takes a play off, all that stuff. And it was true. Relentless, a never-ending motor.
Yeah.
But when you hear that, number one, Jermaine Johnson was absolutely the
that's Miami
epitome of that, man. He always played hard, always. And apparently this kid is the same way, which is, again, you need him. Jared Verse is pretty much like that too, though, now. Jared Verse doesn't take plays off, and he's been kind of injured most of the year. So, that's a really good scouting report. A big physical playmaker that never takes a play off, man. We'll take that.
Who's on your Caucasian Mount Rushmore of interior defensive linemen in Florida State history?
Great question, Aslan. Great question.
Scholars have debated this.
I love delving into this topic. I guess I brought it up. The Ostaszewski brothers, the twins from the early 90s, they were part of the dynasty. One of them, either Joe or Henry, was on The Biggest Loser on NBC. I think that's an NBC show, like 5 or 6 years ago, and lost hundreds of pounds.
Attaboy.
And then one of their sons was a walk-on on the team here recently.
Correct.
So they're there. And then Gerald Nichols, who played for the Jets, he was one of the few good players in the mid-'80s on the defensive line back then. He'd be up there. I don't think Bud Thacker makes the list. I can't throw Bud in the mix there.
So we got a vacancy.
You're exactly right.
Okay.
Yep.
Braden Fiske.
By the way, we'll keep it this way. Got a white linebacker rolling in this year too, man.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
I mean, I don't want to be lazy and compare him to, Pat Tillman just because he's Well,
Tillman was a safety though.
Well, I think he played a little bit in the box in college before he became a safety in the league. He's got some hair on him though.
He does. He's got like Trevor Lawrence type hair. I mean, it's a lot.
And he's a dude that played everywhere, man. Like he played running back. Like he ran for hundreds of yards in a football game.
I think he ran for like 1,500 for the year, or something crazy, and scored like 30 touchdowns. Like he is what's his name? It's not Hendrickson. What is it?
What are we talking about?
The linebacker.
Oh, Blake Nicholson.
Blake Nicholson. From California. Long-haired.
Manteca.
He is a dude. Like he runs. He's a big, thick kid that can really move. There's a chance, I guess, he could play next year. But yeah, I think he's one of the guys that should contribute the quickest. Is him. And then you also have Fryer's kid coming in next class.
Camden, we're like the United Nations of football teams.
I'm telling you, man.
Lots of diversity.
Right. But
Master Romanos from Australia? I mean,
can you believe it?
Io's originally, he's been in America only for like 5 years or so.
Yeah. But Fiske, going back to that real quick, because they actually did, for the people that don't know, they did actually release that on what's today? Tuesday. They released that he had signed his grant and aid so they can talk about him. That's why Norvell's allowed to talk about him. He signed his grant and aid, so they did their whole thing on Twitter where they welcomed him to the family and everything. That's again, just an enormous addition, just a huge addition. Because they needed a body up there, a difference maker, and they got one. And like I said, I don't think they're done.
Hokey kind of question, but just to fill out the rest of the show so it's not totally too short, I guess, kind of maybe bringing it back a little bit full circle about like the likability of this team. For so long, when it comes to this sport, man, I just felt like there's a certain kind of duck that wins it, right? Like you got to walk it, you got to talk it, you got to look a certain way to like win football games at a high level, especially in college. Pro league, everything is so competitive in the NFL and so close on the margins that, you can have a Bill Walsh, you can have a Bill Belichick kind of dichotomy, if you will. And you've mentioned it so many times how like you hope that Mike Norvell is successful because you hope that it kind of opens up the door for more access for college football fans to see their favorite teams, because it's not going to affect the way you play on Saturday if you have a couple out-of-shape 40-year-old dudes and some college kids that are interning watching your football team practice.
Who are you calling out of shape? We're not out of shape.
Well, there's some people on the beat, not us.
Well, okay, right, because we're in shape now, man.
We'd be
we're
like
probably the fittest.
If we didn't pick up basketball, we're going first. We're first picks.
I don't know about that, but we're definitely the fittest like podcast hosts. On the beat. There's nobody that's close. Like as a duo.
There's one out there. That's
but as a duo, I'm saying as a whole show. Are you kidding with this?
Okay, we'll see. That might be up for debate. But how cool would it be if like he wins with, not that Georgia and Alabama have bad guys on their team, but like can you win and smile? Like can you have a smile on your face and go play physical for 60 minutes and win football games? I saw somebody also comment about like Jordan Travis after his football career should go into like public service because he's so kind and has always got like a smile on his face kind of thing. It's like, I'm coming around to like, I just thought you needed, I like the whole Jimbo, it's us versus them. Even when he's saying it's us versus the media, us versus the world. Like
our own fans.
Yeah, well, I don't know about our own fans, but.
It was when that's why he shut him off Twitter. Because Florida State fans were mad at him because they had just lost a weight. So he's like, y'all don't need them. It's just us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was like just distractions, period. But if they can win with this thing he's building, the way he's building, like maybe this hopefully could be a blueprint and live in a happier, cheerier college football world.
I'll be interested. I really do want to see how Dillingham runs his program. Like, what's he going to do from a media perspective with Arizona State?
What's Lanning done, I wonder? We should maybe look into that, too.
Yeah, but Dillingham, I feel like, was more like under Norvell's wing than Lanning was. Like more like a protege.
Yeah.
And as Norvell's tree gets bigger, because Atkins will be doing this too one day, I wonder what they'll do. Because, again, it does not impact anything at all. At all. As long as you have media members that aren't going to write, and if you do, you're done. Mm-hmm. There's repercussions. But yeah, I think it comes back to likability that, I was thinking about this today because Georgia had their press conference, one of their press conferences before the Ohio State game, and one of the coaches talked for the first time all year. And I'm like, just how crazy is that? How crazy is that?
13 games later.
That we live like that. They just college football media lives like that. And I shouldn't even, that's not what I mean. I don't mean college football media. College football fans go through an entire football season hearing from 8 to 10 players and one coach, or 3 coaches, maybe, but usually one. At Georgia, it's one. Yeah. Maybe he lets the DC's OC, maybe he lets Monken talk. I can't remember. But at Texas A&M, it's one. Right. At Florida State, it was one. That's not a way to live life, man. This is college football. You're trying to elicit money from all these people to support your program. Let them get to know your program. And Norvell's selling point, that because I had no idea how he ran his practice when we were at his introductory press conference. But he's like, yeah, I'm going to be everything's open. I was like, what? Yeah, that was crazy. But everything's open. I want you to see what we do. He's so confident in the way he runs a practice, and the way he runs he has nothing to hide. He wants you to see it because he thinks it's a selling point for his program. You get to know the kids, you get to tell their stories, and that makes them more accessible to the fans, and the fans are what matters the most, much more than us. And he's made it accessible to the fans, and that's why I'm so happy that they've had a year like this. Because it isn't like if media, cutting out media and fan interaction meant championships, then what happened in College Station? No. You know, it just has no bearing on anything. It just doesn't. So it's cool. I just hope that coaches learn that there are more Mike Norvells in the world from that sense, that they realize what the media's role is, and it's an important role because we are the conduits to you guys. You get to hear, we get to comment on players in practice in August. I was telling people in August, like, man, Rodemaker looks good, or somebody doesn't.
Johnny Wilson looks amazing.
Or Amarian Cooper doesn't look good. Right. All that stuff, because they're out there, man. If they're going to be playing on Saturday and we all get to make our own judgments then, I think the thought is, yeah, you can make a judgment on Tuesday and Wednesday and let the fans know. And that's what's happened. I hope it becomes mainstream. I don't think it will. I think not unless he wins a couple championships. Then maybe that will happen. But I can guarantee you, folks, there's no program in the country, Division I anyway, with more access than Florida State. And they're 9-3, hopefully about to win their 10th game. That's cool, man. That's a really cool thing, and we don't take it for granted here. I hope you don't, because again, I think we've talked to every scholarship football player, literally every one. I know with like 16 and 17, we probably talked to 15 total. That's 70 guys we didn't talk to. And that's 9 assistants we didn't talk to. Willie was better, but not a ton better as far as during the season. This guy, we get to talk to whoever we want, kind of whenever we want. It's pretty remarkable. It's how more teams should do it, because it lets the fans in. Don't push them away. Don't put up a wall. You need your fans, especially when you're struggling. You need fans, and let them in. And Mike Norvell has done a great job of letting. Well, so have we, though, right? Yeah. We've let you guys in. We're like the hostesses.
All these observations, man. All the smoke signals we let you guys know. The wink, wink, nod, nod. Who's practicing? Who isn't?
Right.
It's always there in the observations.
Yep.
With that said, let's go watch practice. Before that, though, we'll get the press conference with Brent Venables, Mike Norvell. That'll be up on the website. It'll be up on YouTube. Then we'll go to practice. I don't think we can only watch the first 2 periods, too, because I don't think they want Oklahoma.
And you're saying we as if I'm going to be there.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's
Ira
you.
and I.
Yeah, that's you, dog.
We'll be out there doing that, and should be a little chill Wednesday. It's been a little crazy in Orlando. Well, you guys I'm not redlined.
What?
But like, it's been a lot going on in Orlando. Wednesday's going to be nice and, I think, manageable.
Did you get a Tinder date since I saw you last?
No. But just like, man, that day at the thing was busy.
Oh, yeah.
Edit all that stuff together. I had to do the podcast.
Yeah. I had to write.
You had to write.
Yep. And tomorrow we got the thing at Harry Buffalo.
That's right.
It's going to be later today will be a very busy day.
Yeah. It'll be good, though. 1 to 3 o'clock live
Can't wait to
show,
see
Jeff
you guys.
Cameron.
I hope you're all there.
Yeah. Vishal will be there, I bet.
I hope so. James B will be there.
Okay.
Shane and Michelle will be there. Yeah.
All right.
Some pillars are going to be in the house.
I don't know if our guy Ray will be there. Ray will be at the game. I don't know if Ray's rolling in day of the game or not. But anyways, surprise us, everybody.
Hey, everybody, if you're listening to this, come up and say hello. There should be like a code word they could give us to let us know that they listened to this far into the podcast, or they listened to today's show. You got one?
Just like motor or like Pollock?
Motor. Motor's a good one. Yeah.
Motor.
Right, I like it.
Guys and
Not
gals.
motorboat.
Yeah.
Motor.
Yeah, guys and gals come up and say, hey, motor.
We know what's up.
Yeah.
You guys are the cool ones.
Harry Buffalo, 1 to 3 o'clock live show, Jeff Cameron show, and then from 3 to 4, meet and greet with Ira, myself, Corey, Jeff, and Tom. For Corey, I'm Aslan. Thank you for listening to Wake Up Warchant, presented by the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.